400EX. I'm gonna get it on this table. My gaskets will be here tomorrow, so I'm gonna tear it down. Find out if it's gonna need a new piston as well, or if it's just gonna need a head gasket and flywheel gasket, but I'm gonna get up in there and find out, dudes. Appreciate you for watching. About to get after it. I'm gonna leave this up on the stand because it gives me more room to put stuff underneath this as I get parts off. Y'all ever seen a base gasket this brittle? Look. Just complete garbage. So fortunately, it came off real easy. Maybe RVT would have been better than that. I use the fine grit. This is your, what do you call it? This is your SOS pad, Scotch-Brite. Scotch-Brite pad. Polish it up. I put the head and cylinder in here with them lubed. When the top end gets here, I'm gonna pull the pins out and actually lube the pins and do it all properly. It's just, I wanted to get some on it now. Get it closed up in this so I don't have to worry about anything I'm doing contaminating it. And then on Friday or Saturday when the rest of the parts get here, should be good to put it back together. This cleaned up okay. I could probably go over it real quickly. Definitely get that dirt off of there and stuff. Make sure it's nice and clean. This is basically all the pieces I've taken off of the bike. So, and then right over here, got this little divider I use. So got the cylinder bolts, the head bolts, the tensioner in there, and then the dowels and little oil valleys. And I kept this piston just in case. Who knows what's showing up. The rest of this is just body stuff and motor mounts right here, and then the covers for the flywheel, which we're gonna have to get into. I think I got my gaskets. I'll look into the stuff that I got. If I did, I'll go ahead and get in here, check out this flywheel situation, put a new gasket on it, get all the RVT off the damn thing. And that way, hopefully she'll have good spark. And I don't know, maybe there's some water in there or something. Let's go ahead and drain the oil on this thing. Probably gonna be a couple ways. We got this, is that a mount slash a plug? What, dog? No Pookie? Come on. So I went through the wiring. I didn't really see anything when I was in the stator. Got the new gaskets on. But this ground, I was suspicious of. It's pretty rinky-dinky, and it was on a painted frame. So hopefully, maybe that'll have to do with some of our cutting out issues. So get the base gasket on. I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting these head studs out. This guy's been doing a lot of camera work here lately. So I went ahead and tapped it with the PB blaster first, just to be safe. Taking wife's Christmas totes back. 440 kits here, boys. 440 kits here for that 400DX. Go to the shop and get her done. 440 kit, dudes. With the gaskets that came with this kit. Oh my goodness. Piston. 88.95, that must be right for a 90 mil or 89 mil. Oh, crappy spark plug. New cylinder. Wrist pin. Where the C-clips in my piston. Yep, there we go, rings. We're gonna rebuild this sucker, guys. 400DX, big bore kit, 440 style. Got some clean space to work. Already got my base gasket on here. I'm about to put the rings on this piston. And then after I do that, I am gonna put one of my C-clips in and go ahead and get it installed on the crank. I'm gonna put the cylinder on first, put it on, sink these bolts right here in first. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put the head studs in because I don't wanna put this in a vise and risk that. The cylinder looks pretty damn good, dudes. So that's pretty good. The whole kit, $69.95 with the gaskitos. Before I put the rings on, I pop in one of the C-clips for the piston. Then when I put it on right here, I do the far side on my work table so I can go ahead and pop the other one in. Don't have to go around the quad. Sweet. Ring time. These sandwich rings right here. Go ahead and place all your gaps in a different direction. Something like that would work pretty good. And then, not sure which of these is the top ring, but if they're different thicknesses, then the, let's see. Yeah, they're different thicknesses, so the thicker one's gonna go on the bottom, the thinner one in the top. For guys putting them together, ends go different directions. They stack on top of that oil ring. You don't overlap the old waffle ring. Now we'll see which one of these is thicker. Easiest way to check this, lay it on its side, grab one ring, test it here. Fits in there, and it's loose in there. Now let's check this one. it's gonna be good in here and won't hardly fit in there. There's your answer. This is the bottom ring, this is the top ring. Get the rings all on, all set, different gaps, different directions, you can see. The oil ring, same thing. Now we're gonna go ahead, actually make these a little bit further apart. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the piston lubed up, the wrist pin over here lubed up. Get this piston and wrist pin lubed up a little bit, and we're gonna get it installed on the crank. Pretty simple stuff here, dudes. Assembly oil. Come on, baby. She's thick. There you go. All over that bad boy. Arrow faces the exhaust. Just partially slip it in this side. And then wait patiently. I'm gonna go put a little bit of this on the rod. Slide this bad boy over the rod. Insert it. I'm trying to give you guys a good look at this while I do it. Like that. Give me this old paper towel. Then take this other C-clip. Might need the screwdriver, but I doubt it. Take the C-clip. Make sure your engine isn't gonna swallow it if you drop it. Always have some stuff in there. You don't want to have this gap facing that crease. Sometimes they go in easier than others. It's a little worrisome when they go in too easy, kind of like that, but it went right in. Give you a closer look at that. Same as the other side, and I gotta inspect it, make sure it's all the way in. It is. Now the easiest way to do these rings, I have a tool over here. It's called a piston ring compressor. Right here. Over here out of the way. And it's basically a set of pliers with a roundabout. It might be too small, we'll see. We're gonna lube this piston up. We're gonna do the cylinder as well, so it doesn't have to be nothing too crazy, but I do wanna get the skirt pretty good there. At this point, I don't really have to worry about anything falling in. Make sure we got our dowels in there, base gasket's on good. Clean off my hands a little bit. Goes on like this, spread it out, right over the rings. Okay. Tool's gonna go on here, hold them. Once you get the cylinder into position, you push it off with the cylinder, you push them off, this off with the cylinder, and then it comes out the other side. So I'll try and do this while I let you guys watch. I don't know if I always hit it with the air compressor before I put it together in case there's any random metal in there, or they didn't clean it up good enough at the factory. Get your lube all in there. 2 fingers is all she needs, guys. Don't get crazy. You could probably, just because you can fit a fist in there in some instances, don't mean you ought to now. Do this edge a little more. Come on. Almost out of this stuff. Should be plenty. All around. All around now. Go 2. Pull this through here, minimum. Get it out of our way. All right, that's why it's nice to have kids. Let me go get the boy. All right, dudes, that was a huge pain in my ass, but she's done. Parker came and helped me out. Got 4 of these, 4 washers. I want to say they're 12 mils. 4 holes on this bad boy. There. They're all the same length. Like that. Oh yeah. No, I'm not using this to tighten the bolts or torque the bolts. I'm just simply using it to make driving them in quicker. Yeah. And that one I got a little tighter than I was anticipating. Okay. Make sure this is working properly. It is. Now we'll take this bad boy. And this is going to go on this bad boy. But first, we got two 8mm here. These are all my hardware for the build right there. These go in there. Then all the dowels and oil valleys go on top of the head. That thing makes keeping it organized easy. Got this little wobble extension that works good. Step down for this bad boy. Right there. Step down. Little wobble on that 10. These can be a real pain in the butt if you're doing them with the damn wrench. Okay. Now we start torquing here. Oh, that one said it's already Dunsky. And I'll have to look and see what the torque values are on this thing because I'm not sure off the top of my head. It's 33 foot-pounds. Got it all set. They're already down to 20 so far. Getting close. Well, 33 foot-pounds, guys. Booyah. 33, 33, and all right. Now I'll just go hand tighten those little ones on the other side. They're pretty tight. I don't want to go any tighter. We'll call that good. Now we're gonna put our head studs in. Real easy way to install them. Castle nut. Oh, I'm gonna want to put it on stud install. Hold on, I'll switch it to install. Okay. Drive it down nice and gently. Once the ratchet can't do it no more, I'll do it by hand. Right off, and we're done. Next head stud. The longest one goes in the rear, second longer one front, the two same ones go on the side. Got the head all cleaned up. Didn't mess with the valves, but I cleaned off the maintenance surfaces real good. Got the dowels in. And she seat it down onto the, gotta make sure the gasket's not pinching the dowels aren't pinching the gasket. I usually would prefer to have the dowels in the cylinder, but I just put them in the head because it was on the bent to make it easier. Three of these are shiny. One was rusty. This one was outside of the motor. That's where it's going back. This here. This guy here. Got an 8mm. It goes somewhere in here. We got a couple oil valleys. We got to put the plugs back in. Make sure we're not any kind of a bind anywhere. Well, it's good. The front end looks a little less tight than any of them, so there we go. Always use clean tools you're putting in your motors, guys. Look at that, brand new. So this has only been used for rebuilding motors, and I always try and do it with real clean hands, so I don't have to worry about straight up ruining it. So we're looking for 33 on these as well, I do believe. It's always the last one, boys. Yeah, good deal. So, got the head on. We got the camshaft, the valve cover to put on. Then we're gonna adjust the valves, make sure they're right. I used this head gasket. Sorry, no, I used the one with the 89mm kit. That's my bad. I used this base gasket. So, we'll set it at top dead center. Get that cam in here, put the head on, adjust the valves, funnel some gas to her, refill the oil because we just changed it. We should be firing this thing up. Lots of times when you're doing this on a 4-stroke, the mark is sometimes it's gonna bounce back and forth on you when you let go of the wrench. So it always helps to secure the wrench. Hard to see in there, but I got my T mark right on. Time to put this cam in. So, got her back at, you got your 2 timing lines there. And they're lined up. Kind of hard to see the other one because of the dowel. They're both there. The easiest way I've found to do this is to first you take this out, which I believe is like a little oil valley. There's one on each side of the cam. There's one there, and there's one over here. You take it out, you take the bearing off of the cam, that one with the green band. Then you got all kinds of room to put in your cam. Then you put your bearing on it. And then you pop this oil valley back in. And that's pretty much it, see? And it makes it a lot easier because you have the thickness of that bearing to go underneath and get the cam on. I've seen a lot of people trying to pry a freaking cam on when all you gotta do is pull that bearing off. Got the new timing tensioner on, or got the new timing chain tensioner on. Putting the valve cover back on. Got all my hardware here. Almost done, boys. All right, for these little clamps, most people use needle nose. These are my favorite pliers for them. You can get right down on the base, grab them, then you can move them really easy on the line. Pow. Then we need these gaskets, these copper O-rings. Seal up that exhaust real nice like. And I'll just get them all started. Okay, now I get my muffler and we'll get it put on. Sometimes this little bit of blade really helps. Okay. This motor now, I guess, that'd be fine. Motor's remounted. So I've got it back at top dead center. It's hard to see it in there. There's a T with the line. Make sure your cam lobes are down when you have it there. We're gonna open all these and we're gonna take our measurements and see what we got. So you get her set to top dead center. Apparently this is a 24. I've never had some on so tight. I tried to use a damn crescent wrench and it was like I was gonna strip these bad boys out. You don't have to tighten them that tight, dudes. Like, hand tight's good. What is with some, who the funk put these on? So you take them all 4 off. Pretty easy to tell here, obviously, but the 2 on the intake side are gonna be your intake valves. The 2 on the exhaust side are your exhaust valves. Intake's supposed to be 04. exhaust 05. So you could put this in here and you could think to yourself, well, is it loose or how loose is it? Oh, it fit in there, so it's good. There's some drag on it, but that puppy went in there a little too easy. Same thing with the 5s on the front. They were a little tight. So now what we do, let's go up to 06. If that can fit in this intake where it was supposed to be 04, then you pretty much know it's way too loose because it doesn't seem like much, but the gap's 50% larger than it ought to be. Think about that for a second. So put this 06 in here, goes in real tight. I'm gonna say that set it about, this one's still loose. I wonder how big we can go. Let's get a bigger one, hold on. Even an 8 fits in there, but it's very tight. I'm gonna say it's properly gapped. Like if I'm measuring that, it's an 8. This one's probably gonna be more like a 9 because it's been easier to get in. There's some drag there. It's a little loose. Let's check the exhaust valves with it, see if it's, they're also that loose. They're supposed to be at a 5. They seemed pretty tight. That does go in there. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get us a flathead and a, what is that, a 10 wrench. And we're gonna set these valves. 204 on the intake and 004 on the intake, 005 on the exhaust. Get you a nice opened-in wrench. Nice thin flathead. We'll get you up here and we'll get these set. Say that's 04 right there. Hold this still with the flathead. Tighten her down with this 10. And let's check it again. 04 goes in. Remember, it was going up to 08, so let's try the 08 again. No, that ain't going in. Let's try 06. I'm gonna say that's too tight for an 06. You can see how much it's scored up. So I'm gonna say that one's good. We're gonna move on to this one. Actually, while I'm still on this side, I'll do the 05 on the exhaust. Okay. Remember, these were pretty tight on 05. It goes perfect. I'll work our way to the other side. Oops, stabbed it. Okay. Okay, I'll recheck it. Perfect. Now we need the 05 again. Final check. That's a nice tight 05. See the lines on the tool there? Awesome. Now we can put her back together, get gas and oil in it. Always change that filter, boys. Blow out those valleys a little bit because she had a bunch of metal in it. Look at junk, possibly some metal. So we got a new one. We're gonna clean this up, get it ready to go. 64 ounces of that, and she should be good to go. Oiled up. I'm gonna have to hook the jumper to this thing. This battery says it's low. We'll see if she's gonna fire up. All right, so as far as this 400 goes, it sounds extremely choked out when I'm running it. So what I'm going to do is pull this factory carb off, take it over on the bench, and see what jets are in it. I'm gonna compare it to the jets in this Chinese carb, or you know, this Amazon replacement carb I just got. And go from there. Take a look at what the factory settings are, because it does have a pipe on it. But it just seems super rich. I mean, super rich. Like it's burning off It's white smoking, so a little bit of whitish blue, so it's like it's burning gasoline. It smells like gasoline. So I'm hoping it's a carb issue and not an electrical issue that we're hearing all the bogging and cutting out with, because that carburetor was absolutely filthy when we started with it. So we got it cleaned up, but it's probably extremely rich for some reason. So this carb had a 175 jet in it. This one doesn't even have a number on it, 140. So she's gonna be lean. I'm gonna try the 175 with this pipe and hopefully it works. Another issue I found was that the plastic piece in this had broke that like funnels fuel. And I kicked it under the damn table. But it was broken, not attached properly. So I'm gonna throw this carb on with that main jet that was cleared out, and hopefully our problems are solved. We're hoping this is it, boys. I got the new carb on. I got to reroute that fuel line when I'm done and mount this tank, but I'm just trying to see if we can get it running. Oh, we got a leak. I'm gonna need a clamp on this line. That's what the choke off, damn. Turn the saddle up a little bit and see. The white smoke's gone too. Time breaker in. All that cutting out was the carburetor, dude. She's still a little rich, but we'll see. Got the China jet right there. I put the jet out of this old carb into this China one. Dude. No hesitation. We're getting her put back together, putting this stuff on. I have a bit of a cracked plastic situation, so I'm gonna zip tie this all on before I put it back on there. I got one good heat cycle in the motor right now. I'm gonna get another one here in a minute. Gotta bolt this plastic piece of crap back on, but that's a heat shield between your gas tank and your head, so don't just throw it, guys. Don't throw it. Don't just throw it. Don't just throw it. All right, back together. Warm up this engine a couple times, get it off of here when Parker gets home, give her a little light ride. She's smoking a little bit because I stuffed her full of assembly oil and the head, poured it all over the freaking valves. We got a lot more coming up on the channel every Tuesday and Thursday, all of December, new videos. Got a couple Tri-Z rebuilds coming, that one and this one. They both running right good now. I'm still jetting that one, the far one over there a little bit. TRX 250R video coming up. I got some parts in for, what are those bars for? This Tri-Z and grips and a new master and some other stuff. And I got a clutch kit for a BW80 seat cover, so we're gonna do a video on that too. You guys be sure and get up in there, lots more coming. Now starting to get her broke in a little bit. It's already had like 2 good heat cycles, so I'm gonna go feel her up. So basically we got a new carburetor that we rejetted with the old jets. Fresh oil, new oil filter. We fixed that stator seal gasket. Rebuilt the top end with the 440 kit. So it came with the cylinder, piston, rings, gaskets. The motor fires up and runs great. Trying to think. Oh, it's got a new air filter. I think that's about it. She's ready to ride. I use a kill switch over there. You just got to grab the key, old son. I'm gonna rip it around a little bit. Show you guys what's up. Still got a little assembly oil in her. Plus the pipe had a bunch of oil in it from the old top end smoking, so we're gonna have to ride it out. Breaking her in. Light revs, revving her up a little bit, you know, different RPM. Nothing too hard on it. I'm gonna break in the back brake though. If you guys want to know what's wrong with this pile, you'll have to tune in for the next video. So videos all of December, Tuesday and Thursdays, maybe even some shorts coming up. It's something simple. I fixed it, but you know what? Daylight burnt and now pissed me off, and I'll get to it probably tomorrow. We're working tomorrow. It's a fuel flow issue, guys. No big mystery. Fuel flow issue. I ran out of fuel over there. Get up in there. Fuel line was pinched, guys. I need to make an adjustment to it. So I had to freaking limp her back up here. Oh, playing me? It's a little cold today. It's got that new piston. Orion's gonna try her out too. That's fuel or just the oil I put in it when I rebuilt it?
Yeah.
Both? Got that new gasket on it. No, no leaks. No RBT. Like that, dude. Well, we haven't broke the motor in yet. Orion will do it, trust me, guys. Oh, Big Bob. There went one of the rings and all the rings out of it. You better choke it, bro. I bet you it's getting bad fuel flow. I haven't even broke the motor in yet, dude. I swear to God, I haven't got like nowhere near romped on it like that.
Dude, she fucking gets it.
I think that it's just that fuel filter and we still got to figure that fuel line out. Because anytime you stay in it like that, or I've stayed in it, it's wanted to do that. Dude, look at this. I'll throw that fuel filter away. Yeah, I threw it away. Took a fuel filter off of this that was, how you say, clogged. It was clogged. This is where I guess I got to clean this tank again and replace the petcock, because I had to blow compressed air through the petcock earlier to get it to blow some chunks out. And we like tried to really clean the tank, but when you fill it up with fresh gas, it like loosens a lot of that crap up.
Yeah, you start hitting all the bumps.
Yeah, hitting all the bumps, just shaling off. Heck yeah, dude, that thing rips, don't it?
Hell yeah, dude.
Not too bad. And no bog or no, I hate when I get them in there. That's why I don't like riding wheelies on the 450s, because they all need that zip tie mod and they all have that low end bog.
Yeah.
Where like this, you can just barely romp it like a tractor, and you get a bunch of torque.
Yeah.
It's a lot different. You don't have to rev it all out crazy.
Yeah, a lot more low end.
Yeah.
Nice on the trails and shit.
Yeah, it's fun, dude. Those little spacers on the back help. You was rocking 3 lug nuts. Didn't even know it, bro. 3 wheel studs on one side. Hell yeah. Not a bad deal, guys, even though we had to rebuild the motor. You know.
Now you just know it's good.
Yeah, now it's good. $70 top end, boy. Get up in there. Appreciate you, dudes. Be sure and like and subscribe. Videos every Tuesday and Thursday, all of December. So that thing wasn't too bad, even though it was a pain in my butt. 250R build next. That Tri-Z video is coming up. That 250R video. And this big wheel 80 right here.